What is up, fam? Welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast. I'm your host, James Loriello, and I'm so excited to bring you guys an episode today with none other than Miss Allie Rudy, hailing from Leadville, Colorado. What a fun episode. Allie and I talked a lot about Sub Ultra. We talked about her dedication to Sub Ultra for this upcoming season. We talked about her 2025 season and upcoming plans for racing. Allie most recently, this past Saturday, finished fourth place in a stacked group of women that included Tabor Hemming, Janelle Links, and Sydney Peterson. Took fourth place in Desert Rats 21K, which is just an awesome result. And even before that, took the dub, as well as the course record at the Run Through Time half marathon in Salida, Colorado. So Allie is absolutely just getting started, probably a big season in front of her. So we're excited to see what she's going to be able to do with her plans. We talked about her 2024 season. We talked about her whys, why running, why Sub Ultra, why Leadville, all these different things, which is really fun. We talked about some upcoming FKT plans that included Mount Elbert and a couple others. Don't want to give too much away. But yeah, it was just a really fun episode. Allie's not just an amazing athlete in the sport, but also a fan of the sport too. Talked about some of her favorite runners and who inspires her. Just all kinds of fun stuff. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's a personal favorite of mine. Really amazing person Allie is, and I'm just excited to see where her future is going to take her in the sport. So here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
Listen up, guys. The Steep Stuff Podcast is brought to you by Ultimate Direction USA. Guys, I am so excited. UD just dropped their new Race Vest 6-liter and Ultra Vest 12-liter in two beautiful aesthetic colors. You guys got to check these new vests out. They're dynamic in ways like that you just have never seen from an Ultimate Direction vest. Very stretchy, lots of storage, beautiful aesthetic colorways coming to you in a new, like a white and blue and an onyx and green. Just absolutely beautiful vests. I think these ones are just like some of the best products we've ever dropped, and I'm so excited for you guys to try them out. Hop on ultimatedirection.com and use code SteepStuffPod. Again, that's SteepStuffPod for 25% off your new vest. I mean, they're already affordably priced, but 25% off is just going to make it so much more affordable for folks in an already increasingly expensive trail running environment. So hop on ultimatedirection.com, get yourself a new vest, a pack, or any hydration solution, and let me know what you guys think. Allie Rudy, welcome to the Steep Stuff Podcast. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited we finally were able to do this. I know on my behalf, I'm kind of the worst person with scheduling. Like I need a personal assistant to do my scheduling. So I'm happy. Thank you so much for being flexible in the timing and everything. So I'm so excited we were finally able to have a chat.
Absolutely. Helen, you're talking to probably the worst scheduler also. So
how's your day going?
It's been good. I called in sick today, quite honestly.
Oh, wow.
But it was kind of necessary. I've been doing some long days lately and just needed a bit of time. I'm going to a trail running festival this evening in Buena Vista as well.
Oh, super cool. How's life in Leadville, Colorado? Is it cold for you up there today? It's cold here in the spring. So.
Oh, yeah. We got a dusting of snow. We were supposed to have a week of like 50-degree weather. So I was really looking forward to that, but it was short-lived. So yeah, we got like a few inches just a couple days ago, and then it's kind of been coming down ever since.
Oh, wow. It's great. Do you ski at all? Are you like a skier, or are you just a full-time runner?
I do skimo, so I haven't had a downhill ski pass in like 3-4 years now, but I do try to get out on usually just inbounds at the resorts like once or twice a week.
Nice. building that engine. I feel like you have to in Leadville, just because it's so high, and it's like, what are you going to do? Run on like icy, snowy roads or the treadmill all season? So you got to find something to do, right, in the winter.
Exactly. Yeah. I have definitely done more treadmill days than I'd like to admit this winter. But, it's also been helpful in building up speed. And that's an aspect that I've been looking forward to just diving into in my running. So
sweet. Well, I'm not going to bury the lead too much. You just came off a huge win, a like very dominant win at the Run Through Time half marathon. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
How does that feel? That's got to feel pretty sweet. It's like an early season race. It's always pretty competitive, both on like the full marathon and the half marathon side. And like, yeah, you like beat some huge names of years past. Like a lot of like really strong females. You have completely dominated their times. So congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was probably one of my best results that I have had. And I definitely have been putting a lot of preparation in just to the specific distance, probably since like July of last year. So I actually went to go to do the Moab Trail Half Marathon Championships, and that race did not go well for me. So I think I had a bit of a fire burning for the whole winter season. And that kind of gave me some motivation to sign up for an early season race. And yeah, and other than that, I've been coaching since then as well. I started coaching with my coach Tucker last July. And so I just went into that race with a ton of confidence, and I really felt prepared. And that's kind of the direction I'm feeling for this season, at least in comparison to last season's.
Nice. Perfect execution. We'll talk about the race a little bit later. I think first, before we dive into things, like I'd be really curious, and I think the audience would be like, what's like the 5-minute elevator pitch on like how you got into running, like how you ended up in Leadville? Like let's hear your backstory.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm one of those people who, like, people who know me well say, oh, you've just lived a million lives. I did grow up moving around overseas. And then after that, I moved to Leadville at about 17 years old. So I did my first half marathon when I was 11 years old, living in Bulgaria, actually.
Oh, wow.
And then I did some cross country throughout high school, but I went to a few different high schools. So that was always pretty short lived. I really got into running when I moved to Leadville. I came up here to go to Colorado Mountain College, just study outdoor education. They have dorms up here, so it was a fun kind of opportunity. And I actually went through a pretty like challenging situation while living in the dorms, and that just kind of forced me to really embrace running as a way to like just find peace and solace for myself. So I was never competitive, I guess, when I initially got into running. I wasn't like an ex-NCAA or, would barely even call myself like a high school cross-country runner. So yeah, it was just my outlet. And I just started running pretty consistently because it felt good. And it was, a way to get out. And after a few years of that, I realized like, oh, I've been training pretty consistently. Like, I think people really don't value the benefit of like a 20-mile week enough. That's actually a lot of running to do. So, I think just having a few years of that under my belt, I've really become a lot stronger. And then one day it just kind of clicked, like, I'm kind of ready to compete now. So, and then other than that, I also, in a couple years after moving to Leadville, I moved to Washington, and then shortly after that, I moved to Alaska. So I also got into a lot of ski mountaineering up there, not like ski mountain, but actual ski mountaineering with heavy skis and ice axes, and just would do a bunch of long days and traverses, and that was another kind of inspiration for getting outside.
It's like learning how to survive in the mountains. I feel like just like learning that at a young age is just so important, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I was living in Alaska, I was actually in an avalanche, and that definitely changed a lot of my mindset when it comes to just exploring outdoors and safety. And that's probably why I prefer to train inbounds on my skinny skis these days.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Let's probably rewind the clock. Yeah, rewind the clock a little bit. I want to talk about Bulgaria. What was your family like, military, or like what were you like just like family from there, or how did you?
So my dad worked for the Peace Corps. He was like a country director and directed like training and stuff. So we were actually limited to developing countries. So I lived in Bulgaria from the ages of like 9 to 12 years old. So
So that's pretty formative years. Like, did you learn language and like what was like just that experience like for you overall? Pretty cool, or?
Oh, I loved Bulgaria. It's I got to go to an international school. I had friends from like every country, and I don't know, the education there is just amazing. We'd get out. My parents were pretty good about getting us outside, so I got to do some backpacking and skiing there, and I just absolutely loved it. I think that's really all I can say. I did not want to leave when it was time to go. And yeah, I think Eastern Europe is a really underrated area, and I tell everyone that if you're ever going to go to Europe, like try the Balkans.
Yeah.
The mountains are pretty great.
And I feel like too, like just from at that young age, being able to it just makes you more of a worldly person. Like it opens up your mind to things that aren't just like in our own backyard, right? You realize it's a much bigger world out there, and you meet more worldly people. I don't know. It's just like it changes you a little bit. I feel like when you're spending like formative years and younger years abroad, to be able to meet people, not just like learning languages and being more diverse, but like also just, I don't know, just looking at the world in a little bit of a different way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a term, I don't know if you've heard of it, called like third culture kid, and it's what they call kids who have kind of moved around overseas, to the point where like America or the country that you're originally from doesn't really feel like home, but you also can't say that you're from the country that you lived in or the country you feel connected to. So you're kind of just in this third culture, it's hard to explain. One of the hardest questions for me has always been like, where are you from? Because I lived in Boulder a little bit, because we did move back to the States in between living overseas at points. But then I moved to West Africa after that, and
Oh my
just
God.
never really had a good answer for that question.
Wow, that's so cool. What was like what part of West Africa did you live in? Like where were you at there?
I was in Burkina Faso, so it's like the only kind of landlocked country other than like Mali in West Africa. And yeah, that place just has the most amazing culture and people. Um, kind of like I said, I have always dabbled in running, even at younger ages. And so I was like 14 living there, and I'd go run in the local park, and there were just crocodiles kind of swimming around. And
What? That's
having
crazy.
that experience was definitely formative. It was weird coming back to the States and being like, oh, this is not anywhere as exotic, I guess. Um,
You got mountain
so
lions and bears, not crocodile. Well, crocodile's further south, but yeah, it's pretty dope.
well, and you're from Florida, so
Yeah.
do you guys have crocodiles or alligators down
Both. We
there?
have like
Okay.
a small, so like in the very like furthest south of like Florida, we have the American crocodile, which are dope. If you ever see one, they're like really cool looking. It looks like a normal like Nile crocodile, more or less. And we've got alligators all over the place, but alligators are like not mean. They just kind of chill. And like
Really?
they just kind of do their thing. Like they as long as you don't go in the water and like hang out with them, like, even if they're like hanging out on a bank, like they don't bother you. Like alligators are super, super calm. There's this cool spot that we'd go to in Everglades National Park. What is it? Shark River Valley. And it's like this it's actually sweet. You can go run it if you're ever down there, happen to be in Miami.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
13-mile loop, like paved loop through like the Everglades. And it's like just a giant loop. And you can bike it, you can run it. I'd always go run it. And like the alligators, and you can Google this, like, just alligators just like chill on the banks. It's like maybe 7 to 8 feet wide, and there's alligators just like chilling on the banks on both sides, and they just hang out and they don't bother you. And that's
Yeah.
where you'll sometimes see like American crocodiles as well, because you'll see them in the Everglades. But yeah, pretty sweet.
Man, I can't imagine that.
Super cool. Florida's a crazy place to grow up to. Like everybody like thinks of Florida as like Miami or like Disney World or something like that. And like, yes, sure, those are big things to do, but yeah, like the environmental stuff is like really cool. Like get exposed
Yeah.
to a lot of cool
I
stuff.
would almost compare it more to like Australia or something where
I
there's just
I call
animals.
It's the other land down under. That's what I call
Yeah.
it. They're big bugs too. Like I'm terrified of spiders. Like deathly terrified of spiders. That's one thing I was really excited for when we moved to Colorado. I was like, there's not going to be a lot of big spiders, and I was really kind of let down. Like we actually have big spiders here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good for me. That's why I moved up as high as I could just to avoid the spiders.
I've been on 14ers and I've seen spiders. So yeah, I guess they're there. Oh yeah, they're hanging out. So not
Kind of
not that
state.
big, but they're around.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you. Back to you. So I'm curious to like about so a lot of like your running history is just like consistency, and then you said to me one day that you just decided like I think I'm ready to start competing. Like, what was that switch that flipped for you, and like what competition was your first one you hopped in?
Um, let's see. Yes. It probably would be my first 50K. So it was well, my first 50K I DNF. That was the Broken Arrow 50K in 2022. So, once again, kind of started a little fire burning, and I signed up for a 50K called Mountain Rats. Actually, it was a 55K, and I was not really aware of how big of a difference that can really be from the 50K. And I was able to get first place at that one and just, had a really good race the whole way. I wasn't trained for it. I wasn't, you know, like I didn't think I would be competing. And so it was just surprising to come away with the win for that one. And that same week, I was just kind of scrolling through Instagram and saw these posts about Sawatch Ascent. So the week following my first 50K, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sign up for Sawatch Ascent, and ended up doing two 50Ks back to back. That one was kind of interesting. I showed up late for it and was able to start 10 minutes after everyone, and managed to get fourth place at that one on pretty heavy legs. So I think that was those kind of two 50Ks just showed me like you can do more than what you expect of yourself. And I was just so excited to race after that experience, and it's kind of the rest is history. I think I have taken most of my racing since then pretty seriously.
I love it. Let's talk about like living in Leadville and like the Arkansas River Valley area. Like obviously Courtney DeWalter lives in your town, Mike Ambrose. There's a lot of huge names in the sport, like whether they be like executives or athletes that like live in the greater Leadville area. Like, do you like hang out with these people, or like they like readily available, or is like everybody kind of do their like Noah Williams? There's so many people. Like, as everybody kind of do their own thing? Like, what's it like living there?
I would definitely say that people do their own thing. I actually used to live across the street from Courtney, so I'd always be running by while she's hanging out on her deck with Kevin and kind of the Leadville crew. But we have a couple run groups up here. I wouldn't say that like all the people you just named really attend those super regularly. I think for me, I just train a little bit differently than a lot of people in Leadville. And from my perspective, a lot of people move here and really focus on distance and volume. Um, and so, yeah, I don't really do too much running with other people. I have a few friends in like Buena Vista and Summit as well, but yeah, I think a lot of people just do their own thing. It's really hard with scheduling as well. Like
It is. Yeah.
people's jobs up here, like Noah's a ski patroller, and like I work at the school for like 11 hours a day because I am a substitute teacher and I run an after school program. So
Oh, wow.
a lot of times I'm just trying to fit training in where I can, and I'm not able to make it to those group runs. But I think one really fun part about being here is we all do run the same routes in the winter. There's not too many options, especially when there's ice and snow on the ground. So you almost always get a little flyby from, Courtney, whoever might be running.
Because you're a sub ultra athlete, like, are you more like dirt roads and track kind of girl in the winter, and then like you'll do skimo for uphill for vertical, like, or what are you doing in the winter for your training?
Oh gosh, it really just varies. We kind of just have like three roads. One of them is pretty flat, so that's my flat run, easy run for the week. And then we have one called Black Cloud and 7th Street, and you're not getting any less than like 700-800 feet a gain in those ones.
Oh, wow.
So it's yeah, those are the regular routes I'm doing. I live outside of Leadville, in a place called Beaver Lakes Estates, so we have a pretty good road here that I run on. But I would say the only time I'm really getting a flat run in is on the treadmill. And then, yeah, for long runs, I go down to Buena Vista and Salida almost every weekend. It just helps to get those drier trails. Even if we have a flat road here, it's usually just icy and slippery on a day like today or in the winter time. So yeah, that's kind of my general plan for training and where I run.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like even though you live at 10,000 feet ish, like you can get down to 6,000 and 7,000 feet, like BV, and then Salida pretty easily. Like I love that Arkansas River Valley. Like I don't want to blow it up too much on the podcast because enough people live there already. But yeah. It's like, man, is it such a cool? Like I have a lot of friends that live in Salida, and it's just like, man, if I was going to pick a mountain town to live, that would probably be the one. That or like, I don't know. I like the remoteness of like Silverton's or like Ouray, but Ouray just gets too many people. But yeah, Silverton's absolutely dope.
Oh, it's amazing. I just, would be an even more challenging place to live than
Oh
Leadville. I
yeah.
can't imagine being, that far from like a main highway.
Right. I don't know how like Avery and Sabrina do it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live there all year round. Like I would have to be like really committed to skiing, or else like I would lose my mind.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
just takes so much grit. I mean, I think you can kind of avoid some of that grit and challenge living in Leadville by doing things like treadmill running and going down south, but I don't know how they can
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
fit
So actually,
everything in.
I mean, I'm in the springs and like we had a mild winter and like I was on the treadmill so much this off season. I like burnt my
Really?
treadmill. I cracked the deck on the thing. I hate you ever run on a Nordic track? How they have like the bounce to it?
I don't think I have
If you
actually.
ever next time you're I don't know if you happen to ever be around a Nordic track treadmill, hop on it because it's got like a extra like bounce to it that it shouldn't have probably like they all do because they have like a almost like a extender to where you can get like 30% grade like going uphill on it.
Okay.
And I've cracked the deck on that thing like 3 times. Like it will not run. Like if you try to run anything under like a 540 mile on it, like it literally will snap in half or like
Oh
break.
my,
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyway,
is that at like your local gym or is that your
no, it's
treadmill?
my treadmill.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I went up and told the wife today. I was like, "Damn it, I broke the treadmill again." She's like, "Again?" Yeah. So I don't know. Gotta get my guy out to fix it. So
Oh, that sounds like a bummer. And I can't imagine it's cheap either.
no, you know what? Warranty is the way to go on those. Yeah. So listeners listening, yeah, get yourself a warranty on your Nordic track.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Episode not sponsored by Nordic Track. Back to you, back to running, and back to training. So like, what does your stuff look like? Like, what was your like block leading up? I'm just kind of just pure curiosity. Like, and as a coach, like, what was your block like leading up to like the half marathon, for instance? Like, were you doing 2 to 3 workouts a week with hills? Like, what were you throwing in there for speed workout and stuff like that?
So let's see. I really didn't do like too much of a block. I think I would say I was still just in general winter training mode at that point. And, I think my coach knew about it like a month and a half out. So he just threw in some extra workouts and smaller tempos, but it didn't really feel like there was, this one piece of time that I was putting a ton of effort into. I kind of just maintained training and amped up a bit in the weeks before. But with that being said, I've been doing like workouts consistently all winter. I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't run in the winter, give yourself an off season. But for me, just keeping the mileage pretty low, having schemo in there, it's been really manageable. So yeah, I didn't really feel like I needed too much of a block. And then also, I really don't know or understand much about training, compared to my coach. He has a sports management degree and has been coaching for years. So I'm just like, Tucker, I'll do what you say.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it's really I don't know. Like I just started like self-coaching myself within the last like 6 months and like really got into the whole like, macro, meso and micro cycles and learning like how to put these blocks together. It's so interesting. Like, I don't know, like you can, especially for like I feel like you can apply more for sub ultra as opposed to like ultra stuff because like ultra's kind of long, right? It's like, yeah, maybe 1 to 2 workouts a week. And then everything else is go, dabble and play around in the mountains and just kind of, maybe throw some tempo in on your long run. But like for sub ultra, like you got to be fit as hell. Like it's, and almost like all the time. You can't just like quite be peaking all season, but you have to be like almost right there the entire time. So yeah, there's a lot of cool and interesting science behind it that I don't know, I've kind of gotten like sucked into in the last like few months. It's kind of fun.
Definitely. Well, I'm curious, what does your training look like in Colorado Springs and being self-coaching?
Oh man, it's like I'd say like I very block based. So like 5 to 6 week blocks. So like I came off my winter block and it was like put together like 2 kind of mixed trail or I'd mix it up like a lot of roads with also a lot of trail. I did like 5 or 6 weeks, 2 of those. And then now I'm on a defined speed block. So like not touching the trail, maybe touch the trails like once a week for my hill workout. And then everything else is like track and road. And like it's I'd say like 3 workouts a week, 3.5 workouts a week if you count hills. So
Wow,
like,
okay.
more stuff like that. And like, yeah, like today I just got back from, it was like a 3-mile tempo. And then I think I capped it off with like 12 by 400 meters and then like 90 seconds in between those and like some cool down miles. Super fun.
That's an intense workout.
Running fast is so awesome. Yeah, it's cool. And it's like, it's funny because like I'm a sportive athlete, so like I'm so used to like trail shoes. And like lately I've been like kind of going crazy with my like trying to figure out what road shoes work for me. And like I've been like really dialing in that, and it's kind of nice. It's different. It's fun. It gives me something to do, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, a goal of mine is actually to kind of figure out what some of my track PRs are, because I really don't have a 5K PR, 10K PR, or a mile PR because I've never actually went for it. And so, yeah, if you have any recommendations for a good track shoe, let me know, because I don't think I own any road shoes except for some Pokebondies.
Oh, you know what? I just got, what the hell did I get? It was the Asics. What is the name of that shoe? Nova Blast. And it's like, it's kind of do everything kind of shoe. It's just a trainer. It's not like a super shoe or anything like that. But I literally just picked up a pair of those the other day and wore them on my run today. And like, they performed great, like on the track, and they performed great on the road. Cause I did a little road warm up before and felt really good at them. So I was like very cushioned, like super cushy and nice. But yeah, highly recommend those. Like, gotta say, like Asics kind of nailed it with that shoe. So
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So let's get back to you. I want to talk about Desert Rats. You've got Desert Rats coming up. When is that? It's like 2 weeks from now? 1 week from now? Something like that.
Yeah, on the 13th, I believe.
So
it's on a Sunday.
10 days out. Okay. Are you tapering for that one, or are you just going to do it as a training run? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, I definitely will be tapering for this one. Yeah, I've had a pretty good training block leading up to it, and kind of finishing up some of my last workouts this week. I'll probably have like a long run workout on Saturday. But yeah, other than that, I'm just really exciting. A really big aspect of sub ultra that I've been working on is the fueling piece. I think in the past I thought, oh, I can just make it 13 miles without eating anything. During run through time, I was able to get down like 3 precisions. So I'm just really excited to see kind of what I can do with the fueling I have worked on the last few months. I've put the time and effort into the speed, and I've put the time into endurance. So just knowing that my fueling is feeling good too, I'm just really excited for this race and just hoping I can do something crazy.
I love it. So talk to me about fueling. Like, it's funny because in sub ultra, I get asked this question a lot, like, "Oh, what do you do for fueling?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I take," because like usually I race like Cirque Series races, so like I'll just take a couple gels, and like if I need one, I need one. And yeah, I'm pretty laxed with it, but like I just started fueling a lot more, and I'm like, man, like fueling my workouts, like I feel really good, and I'm recovering faster. Like, who would have thought? So tell me about your fueling. Like, what are you doing? And like, what's working for you?
So I definitely went down a bit of like the David Roach GI training rabbit hole where, I would just be on a long run and try to take like 2 or 3 gels at once and just kind of run through that discomfort. But other than that, I've just been so consistent with the eating. I think it's been probably half a year, 6 months now that I've gotten to at least 70 carbs an hour on my long runs. And I've actually even been eating during workouts, even if it's only like an hour long. I just pop a gel in kind of right before a tempo, or if I'm doing like 2 tempos back to back, like eat something in between. And I just think it's really given me the confidence, and my stomach is a lot more used to eating at high efforts now. And I think that's what had been missing in the past, even when I did try to eat consistently, is I couldn't do it during a hard effort. So I'm just really excited to have developed that skill and keep working on it. And I've pretty solely stuck to precisions, but my stomach is handling, some never seconds and like SIS beta fuels as well. Nice. But I also don't really veer from those brands. I think I know what's comfortable for me, and I stick to that.
Yeah, I do. I'm a big Martin guy. I used to do a lot of Martin gels, and those have always worked. I have not tried the Cis ones though, and that everybody like says amazing things about those gels. I guess they're like a little bit cheaper, which kind of helps. You can buy a ton of them, right? So
exactly, yeah. Which that's actually part of the reason I've done so well fueling is I've had keep this on the down low, but had a bit of a hookup from a friend who works for a race series, and
there you go.
He gives me some of the extra gels and food there. So
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
if I came down, I actually had a goodie bag of Morton's for you. So
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'll see you. I'll see you at a race, or we'll have you out on the podcast again. We'll bring you out to the Springs.
it'd be
So
great. I can
yeah.
even like mail them or something. Do you
Oh,
like
that's nice.
Tailwind as well?
I'm not as much a Tailwind guy. I have a buddy that's an ambassador for Tailwind. He tries to give me Tailwind all the time, and this is no shade against Tailwind. I'm really bad with fueling. Like I'm just like not a liquid calorie guy. Like I'll take my gels, and I'm like more an eat heavy foods like pre and post workouts. And then like when I do my workouts, like I don't run crazy distances. Like I might run like 70, 80 miles a week. Like I'm not doing crazy like long stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of funny with that. You know what I have just tried? I jumped on the train or the bandwagon on is what is it? Blank's Sports Nutrition. Have you ever heard of them? It's this company called
I haven't, no.
They're like based in Flagstaff, and like basically it's like democratized fueling, and I like it because it's just like really inexpensive and really cheap, and they make a recovery powder, they make hydrogel powder, and they make like just like normal like your Tailwind stuff, but like they make a particular like hydrogels. And it's just like literally I think it's like 200 calories a scoop. And they give you like these little, like hydro pack, like almost like just like little gel packets. So they're reusable. And like, I just take a bunch of those with me on my run. Like I'll probably bring like probably 2 or 3 now. So it's like for like today, like track workout, like I brought 2 with me, and that was great. I mean, that was like a couple 100 grams of carbs that I fueled with. And like, they have all different, it might be hard on some people's stomachs, but like they have like pineapple flavor, blue rat. They have like all these like really good flavors that I've just like been kind of blown away by. So yeah, and like not sponsored in any means. I just happened to come across that I really liked. And I was like, damn, Blank Sports Nutrition. Yeah, they make good stuff. So highly recommend. Yeah.
I'll have to check those out. Yeah, I'd love to try some more flavors like that. Sometimes it feels like they're slacking on the flavor trend. So
were you one of those people like when you first entered the sport, like I would only do like goos and like the s'mores goos or something like that, and like, oh my god, they taste so bad.
Yeah. I cannot go anywhere near a goo anymore. I don't know how I ended up with so many when I first started running, and I don't know how I got so many down because they're just disgusting.
So bad. I don't know how, like, I guess everybody that's like a noob falls into the trap. Anyway, yeah. So let's talk about you. I want to get into, so after Desert Rats, like what do you got planned for 2025?
So yeah, like I said, I'm mainly just doing sub ultras. So I'm planning on doing 2 events at Vail Mountain Games. I'm going to do the 10K and Pepe's Face Off. So I'm really excited for that. Part of me is like, oh, maybe I should have just like done Pepe's or give myself a chance at, podiuming at one, but it's too fun of an event to not do, both of them. So really excited for that one. I have like a bit of extra time in the summer to work on FKTs. So I'm going to be going for the Mount Albert FKT probably in July. Very and if that doesn't work out, then I'll go for it again in September. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also going to go for the Buffalo Mountain Loop FKT. And then after that, I'll definitely do like a Cirque Series race. And yeah, I talked to Andy Wacker, and he's helping me get over to Mammoth Trail Fest. So I'm doing the 26K over there.
I saw that.
I'm really excited. Yeah. So I'm stoked for that one because I haven't done a super competitive race in a while. And I, got on a little late to the Broken Arrow train, and I'm on a wait list, but figure Mammoth is just as good of a choice. Yeah, other than that, I have one more race. I'll do the Moab Trail Half Marathon Championships again this year.
Nice.
And then Leadville Heavy Half Marathon as well.
Okay. Oh, you got a great schedule. That's going to be sweet. A little mix of stuff around, not too far away from you, and then also some stuff far away. It's funny, when I was getting ready for your episode, I just happened to click on Mammoth Trail Fest 26K. I was like, dude, there's like 800 people signed up for that race. I was like, how do people get out to Mammoth? Like, isn't it like super far, or like from like LA or like any airport? Isn't it like really hard to get to?
I have not. I actually do not either. I haven't done a lot of research. Andy just told me he could get me into the race and help with accommodation. So I was like, well, I will figure that out later. So
that's awesome.
I'll be looking for like plane tickets and all of that. There's a chance I might end up just driving, because if it is really that far from airports, it sounds like an easier way to go.
Yeah, it's probably a really like beautiful drive too, like driving out that way through like Nevada and like Yeah, that's not if you have a couple days to spare. Now you're a teacher, so you have summers off then, right?
Yeah, I am.
I'm so jealous
And
of you.
well, so I'm not like a certified teacher. I'm just a substitute, and then I run an after school program. So sometimes I do end up working in the summertime. But I usually still end up getting at least a month off or so. So I'll run like a credit recovery program for students who fail their classes. And this year is really exciting. We changed our programming around, so I get to take students backpacking, and we'll recover their credits that way. So looking forward to that one. I'll have to figure out how to train for that week, but other than that, it'll be cool.
That's so cool. What is that program like? Like, what is that like? Is it just like backpacking through the backcountry, or like how does that work?
Yeah, well, this will be my first time doing it. We've always been in the classroom in prior years, just going through an online program, nothing special. And our school decided that it was too easy of a program and kids were failing classes and then recovering them in like 2 days, and it wasn't super fair. So yeah, they just added this program. We'll have like 2 or 3 days where we just go on day hikes, and do some planning, and then we'll do like a 3 to 5 day backpacking trip. I think it'll just be in the collegiate around and near Leadville. And yeah, I'm not sure what the curriculum will look like, but there'll be some type of learning. So we'll see how that one goes.
That is so rad. Oh my God. I have two younger cousins. One just graduated high school and one is, I think, junior or senior. And like they went to Colorado Mountain College in I think it's in Carbondale. And dude, like their school is so cool. Like they're like not even in class. I'm like, do you guys even learn? Like, what do you do? You're in the mountains the whole time and like hanging out and like having fun. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what a nice life. Like, I don't know. That would have been such a cool experience. Like, I don't know, because we have such beautiful outdoor systems and trail systems and all these different things. Like to get more kids at a younger age, like out on the trails and like exploring. I just think it's so like good developmental wise, right?
Yeah, well, that's something I'm really passionate about. I think living in Leadville, a lot of people come here and think, oh, I'm in this outdoor mecca. It's so beautiful. I have all these outdoorsy friends. But the truth is, if you think that way, you're probably living in a bit of a bubble because like the real population here doesn't have access. Like most of my students don't even have a pair of hiking shoes or even a winter jacket. And so just finding ways to kind of inspire that accessibility and get kids outside. I know that's one of my favorite things. I used to be a girls on the run coach as well. So got to, I'd take the girls out on like the Mineral Belt Trail. And it's crazy how just one experience can be so formative.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's important to, give those opportunities to as many people as possible.
And like, you never know who you're like showing the trails to, right? Like you might have the next Courtney DeWalter like in that class or like, something like that. Like it could very well happen. Just kind of cool if you think.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I have one student. He's not a runner, but I swear this kid's going to be a professional like biker in some shape or form because he lives like 5 miles out of town and every day he just bikes or walks to and from school. And he's been doing this for years. And I just can't imagine how strong this kid is.
It's going to be a monster. Oh my God. I got to get him signed up for races, man.
Exactly. I'm working on getting him on our mountain biking team for now.
There you go. That's cool. The school has a mountain biking team. That's dope. Oh, wow.
It's not actually the school, but we have a cool nonprofit called Cloud City Mountain Sports. So they have like Nordic, Alpine, all mountain biking, bunch of cool stuff. Yeah.
Super cool. Wow. That's amazing. I want to get back to, I do want to double back to racing. One of the things I was going to ask you is because like, you're a really good uphill runner, like phenomenal. Like your Sunapee result kind of blew me away for the vertical, like 6th place at the U.S. Mountain Running Champs for the ascent. Like, do you have any aspirations to like do more vertical races, like VKs and stuff like that?
100%. And actually, when I was talking to you about races, I forgot to mention that I will be doing the Dragon's Back Ascent, I think is what it's called, at Mammoth Trail Fest.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm just really excited between like training for Elbert and in that race, and then like Pepe's face off at Vale. I think I have some really good opportunities to kind of show off some of my uphill skills. And yeah, I don't know if it's schemo. I've just always really loved uphill running. I think a lot of that stemmed from some of the like ski mountaineering I did living in Washington and Alaska. like, if you're carrying a 50-pound pack with skis and walking uphill, that's a million times harder than just being a little runner in your vest. And so I'm always excited for the uphill, but the downhill is really my caveat. I'm working on that right now and
Sure.
continuously.
Fair enough. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't like the downhill as much as I like the uphill. Like,
Really,
yeah, I don't know. It's yeah.
I swear I can't get into the same flow. Like when I'm running uphill, even on uneven technical trails, there's just a different flow to it. And you're just able to push yourself in a different way. I feel like I'm just kind of letting go when I'm running downhill, like trying to relinquishing all of my control and just
Hoping
letting
you
it
don't
rip.
die.
Yeah, exactly.
No, man. So what's probably the race you're most excited for, like, out of the season? Like, you probably have like start, like, what's going to be the race you peak for?
Oh, that is such a hard question. Um I think the reason it's hard to answer is the last couple years I focused on longer stuff, and then that prevented me from doing as many races. And so I've just had like a 2-year backlog of being like, oh, I wish I did the Leadville Heavy Half Marathon. I wish I did Pepe's Face Off. So I would probably say I'm most excited for Mammoth Trail Fest, just knowing that it's going to be a stacked field, knowing that I'll get to hang out with some of the trail team people. I can't really decide whether or not the 26K or the vertical I'm more excited for, but just that race, both of those races in general. But I'd actually say I'm almost just as excited about the Leadville Heavy Half Marathon. I've been training on those exact routes for, 7-8 years now, and just excited to see what I can do. I feel like, there's a pretty good course record there, but I also think it could come down. So we'll see what kind of day I can have out there.
Nice. That's a proper course. I mean, that's like what? It's like 15 miles with like maybe 5,000 feet. It's like a solid amount of climbing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then it's all so up high. I think a lot of it is above like 11,000 feet as well. But that's where it's nice living in
I
Leadville.
was gonna
And
say it's nice for you. I would die like coming from 6,000 feet. Like, it's funny. I went for a run the other day. I was up near like 9,000 feet, and I could feel the altitude. Like, I was like, man, this doesn't like feel. I'm working harder than I want to be, or feel like I'm working harder than I want to be because this is higher. I was like, I don't like this.
yeah,
I've been like at 6,000 feet for too long. Whereas like it's so crazy to come from 10,000 feet. Like, everything's easier for you guys. Like, yes, the power generation is a little bit different. Like, you guys are a little bit slower, but like you're so much fitter and, in a lot of ways. Or
yeah, I feel like one thing that is different for me from other athletes who don't live at elevation is like I'm just so comfortable on uphills. Like I'll be running next to someone and they'll just be breathing so hard and just working so hard, and I'm like, man, I'm saving it for the downhill right now. And so just having that kind of strength, I don't think a lot of other runners have that strength. I think a lot of people do great on the downhill, which maybe I'm generalizing, but yeah, like for example, at Cirque Series, Cirque Series Basin last year, I was able to actually leave the race for like 2 miles. But to me, I was like, I'm actually comfortable right now. I don't feel like I'm out of my bounds with the pace I'm going. But I also knew that I would be passed very quickly on the downhills. So that was a fun one.
How was that race? You raced some stout, including one of my teammates, Jane Mouse. Like, you raced some stout ladies at that race. Like, how did that? You had a great finish. Like, how did that unfold for you?
Oh man, I really surprised myself on the uphill. I definitely didn't think I could have hung with someone like Jane. And she was just phenomenal. You could tell she was so comfortable the whole climb. Yeah, and I got ahead of her just for like a mile or two, probably a mile like 4 or 5 or so, a bit before the summit. And then she passed me kind of right on the summit, and I was just amazed at like how she maintained herself on the downhill, and it just seems like she continually sped up throughout the whole rest of that race. So yeah, I just got to the top. I was feeling good, and then I ate a maple, and that was kind of before I had trained with precisions or anything, and it ruined my stomach. So
Oh man.
by the time I got to the kind of flatter road where people are really throwing down like 5-minute miles, I was just struggling. I looked down at my watch and was doing like an 8-minute mile on this easy downhill, and I think Alexa Aragon just sprinted by me, and I knew like there's no way I can catch her right now. But I think that was also a really good learning experience, knowing that I needed to work on fueling and that I needed to work on my downhill running as well.
Yeah.
And actually,
sorry.
no, sorry.
No, finish
I think the best part of that race was I used to be on the All In Trail Collective. I got a scholarship through them, and I got to race my coach Rosa. But I had signed up for expert because I wanted to give myself the best chance of winning a prize. And Rosa was in the pro category, so I think I was in like 4th place, and all the girls had passed me. And then Rosa comes running by, and I tried to yell at her, like, "You're so close to the podium, like, just go past this one girl and you'll get on the pro podium." But she didn't quite hear me. So I think she ended up in like 4th place, but she was so close to podiuming that one.
So cool. What I was just going to say was those races are so like competitive and difficult. Like if you don't put yourself in it, like you're going to get swallowed up. And they're so much fun, like to go smash yourself. And, you should like look at you should look at like the Alta race and like some of the snowbirds, because they're a little bit higher altitude too, not quite. They're like 10, 11, like 8 to 11,000 feet. But like you could totally smash one of those courses. So
it's actually a big goal of mine to get out for, another Cirque Series race that isn't just A Basin an hour away. Yeah. Can I ask which A Basin or Cirque Series races you've done?
Yeah. So I've done, what have I done? I've done Brighton, Alta, Grand Targhee. Oh, nice. I think I only did Brighton, Alta, and Grand Targhee last year. Yeah. But this year I'll be at, Cannon. What will I be at? Cannon, Killington.
Oh, nice.
Which are the East Coast ones. I'm going to Alaska, so I'll be at that one. Alta, A Basin, which I don't know if I'm going to race A Basin. It all depends on points. If I got the points I need, I hate high altitude races just because like really? I don't live at high altitude. So for me, like I have to actually like work to like go get to high altitude a bunch. So for me, it's like I'd rather just, like if something like tops out at 11,000 feet, like I can survive that. Like I'm fine. But like, for instance, like A Basin's just so high, like it kills me. And then I'll go to, I think, Crystal for the new Crystal Mountain race. So like that's going to be the bulk of my season will be all the Cirque Series. Because Sportiva is sponsoring them for this year. So they're just going to have a bunch of their athletes out, which will be super fun. Yeah, I think I'm honestly looking the most forward though to obviously Alaska. Alaska is like a proper mountain race, but I think even more so to the East Coast races. I think that'll be a little bit fun to like mix it up, Yeah,
and those are all inaugural, right?
Yeah, all first year. And I think we're just gonna get like, I don't know. I'm excited because like New Hampshire and Vermont have like a lot of like former Olympians and like really fit athletes, just in general, like in that Dartmouth area. Plus, there's a lot of pros that live out there. Like Remy LaRue, Dan Kurtz, David Sinclair might even show up. Like there's going to be a lot of like solid competition that I think are going to show up to these races. So to me, I'm just excited to like get on a start line and see, because like for me, I've been working on so much like speed work that I'm like, there's like, I have to have narrowed the, kind of like closed the gap a little bit over the last year. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for it. Should be fun.
Well, and knowing that you're such a good uphill runner and probably spend a lot of time on the incline, it seems like you are just perfectly prepared for all of those.
Oh, I would hope so. Like once a week. I've only been on the incline like once a week lately. It's only been like on Saturdays. I do a workout on it, and that's really
okay.
Yeah, I've been kind of lame. Like I've only been doing like 4,000 or 5,000 feet of vert a week, which is like very unlike me. So
really,
yeah, just flat speed, just trying to get turnover and just get faster. So that's been like kind of the big emphasis. So many of these people that race these races are like, especially on the guys side, they're like sub 14-minute 5K guys. They're so fast. So like that's what I mean by like trying to like, I'll never close that gap, but at least like trying to narrow the gap a little bit, like at least get my 10K time like to, low 30s or something, So
yeah,
that's
absolutely
kind of been the goal. So
it's pretty cool seeing like the merge of, the people who are really fast on roads coming to trails, like seeing Andy win Big Alta. Like I can't say I was surprised after like what he threw down at his last road race. I think like Run the Bridge or something.
Yeah. He's a monster. And I got a lot of respect for Andy because like, after like parting ways with Solomon this year, like he's old now, not old, but like proverbially speaking, he's 30, 30, like late 30s, 36, 37 now. So it's like, people kind of maybe sleep on him or like forgot. And it's like, dude, you don't sleep on somebody like Andy Wacker. Like he's like one of the best still in the sport easily. And then you go see what he did at Big Alta and just
Exactly.
absolutely dominated. So yeah, it's cool. Are you a big fan of the sport too? Or are you like as an athlete in it? Like, do you follow a lot of like the races and the other athletes and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say this is kind of the first year I've really gotten into that. I think my partner and I are just obsessed now. Like whenever a race is going on, we're checking the live tracking, looking at results. And I've never been a super big sports person in the past. I think I watched like the soccer World Cup here and there, but it's been really fun feeling like I'm kind of more into the sport from that side of things and knowing what's going on and kind of knowing names. So still have a lot to learn, but really enjoying just watching the running world play out right now. It's really like a special time in history with kind of what people are doing in this sport.
Yeah, it's so much fun too, right? Like I don't know. To me, I keep saying like it's the greatest sport on earth just because it's like the accessibility for anybody to like get on the start line and, you can race the pros or you can race wherever you want in the race, and it's all just very approachable, like the sport of sub ultra, which makes it kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I would also argue that just sub ultra in general is so much more accessible. It kind of takes a lot of resources to run an ultra, and like the amount of stress that has been like relieved for me not trying to do like a 50-mile race this summer is amazing. I'm like, I don't need all this time off. I don't need to worry about needing a full week of feeling tired and recovery. It's just less expensive. It's easier to go to a race in one day instead of needing to spend the night, couple nights. So I really love that aspect of sub ultra running.
Yeah, just the ability to recover faster, right? Like, I mean, just to like piggyback off what you said, like, you can stack these out. Like, who was it? I think it was like Roberto De Lorenzi. He's a superhuman, but like anyway, he raced like 27 times last year or something like that. So like some people can, just stack week on week on week on week. I wouldn't advise that, but like you could do 10 races in a season and still not be like pooped out. Like you can, still kind of comfortably fit something like that. Whereas like, you run 100, like if you go to do Western States, for example, right? Like your season's over after that, more or less. If you race it to your potential, right? Like you're going to be smashed. So I don't know. Like to me, I don't know. It's crazy. I can't quite put my finger on it just because, and I ask a lot of folks this, like, what is it that like makes ultra so much more popular in the States, whereas like in Europe it's not necessarily that way? Like sub ultra is kind of more popular in a lot of ways. Like it's like, what is it? And I think it comes down to the storytelling. Like we don't do a great job of like storytelling with our athletes, whereas like the ultra side, like it makes them a little bit more human and like humanizes them in a lot of ways. Whereas like people think of like people like Joe Gray and Andy Wacker as like just these extremely fit steeplechase guys that are like superhumans, and they don't realize the humanity behind it, right? Like it's
absolutely.
It's kind of
and I feel like some of those ultra runner names are just bigger when like they shouldn't be. Like something my partner has always said is like Joe Gray is just the most underrated runner in history. Like he does not get the clout he deserves for what he is doing and continues to do.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I actually had to text him about something the other day, because what I want to do is I pitched this out to the world a couple times, is do like a film about him for his for his like 900th like national title win, or contention. And like I was trying to like think about it before I sent this text message, like how many fucking times has he won like a national title? And like I really couldn't figure it out. Like it's got to be like 25 or something like that. I have to ask him, and I don't think he'd be upset if I didn't get the number right, but like still I just think I find it so funny that like the dude has won everything more or less and been like probably the most dominant person to ever enter our sport. And like there will probably never be another. Like I don't think it will ever happen again. And I just find that so bananas that he doesn't have like 200,000 Instagram followers, right?
Exactly. And then he's showing up to races like Vail Mountain Games last year. And that to me is just amazing. Like, even though they put a lot of effort in, there's a prize purse. Like, it seems like a kind of a small, unimportant place for someone like Joe Gray to be, and yet he's there racing.
Oh yeah, he's a man of the people. He's if there's a prize purse and some competition, the man is showing up. He's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just like, I don't know. It's just a great sport. And like the other thing is like just to see so much dominance from these athletes, over time. Like you got your Graysons of the world too, and like Rachel Tomjiak. I can't pronounce her last name.
I couldn't even try.
I butcher it every time. Just like so many strong ladies as well. Like it's and Lauren Gregory now, who's like really blown up last year, and same with Anna Gibson. Like, yeah, the ladies side. I think the ladies side of the sub ultra scene has gotten probably more interesting with more athletes popping on.
Definitely.
Let me ask you this: what shoes do you like to run in? Like, what's your go-to?
So this is pretty new, but I just bought the 005s, the Nordas, and I am obsessed with them. I would like only run in them exclusively if I could afford those shoes consistently, but for now they'll just be my racing shoe. But yeah, I also have a pair of the 002s, and I'm just loving those shoes right now. They feel so good. I have a really wide foot, and just for living in Leadville, they have the best traction possible. But yeah, before that, I was mainly like a Hoka Speed Go girl. And they were just a trainer that kept me happy and healthy. But I'm also kind of ready to move on. I'll probably always have like one pair of Speed Goats just in the back of the closet, but I'm really enjoying the Nordas right now. And then, yeah, I've also really loved racing in the Nike Ultra Flies. And I've been doing a lot of workouts in those as well.
It's a great shoe as well. Let's talk 005. So I got to see that shoe before any person had ever seen it. So like I saw that shoe. So I'm friends with Jason, and Jason had it. He literally got it in the mail from China like the day before, 2 days before Hard Rock, because I happened to do a photo shoot with him. So I got to try that shoe on before any person had ever laid eyes on it. And I was immediately blown away. I was like, God damn, this is an amazing shoe. I don't know if they made any changes to it after the fact, because this was like July. So I would imagine it was still a pre-production model. But I remember texting a couple friends and I was like, yo, you don't even know what's coming from Norda. Like, this is the shoe. Yeah. And it's apparently pretty durable too. Like it should last like a very long time. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read and seen, it seems like you can get at least a few extra 100 miles out of them. And for me, like that difference makes it worth the price point as well.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think it's like for something like that to justify the price, because so for like instance, like I'm a Sportiva guy and like I love the Produgia Pros. It's the best shoe in my opinion that's hit the market besides the 005. I just personally like I'm still in my first pair and I've had them for like maybe 400 or 500 miles already and I haven't worn them down, but I'm curious, like, what is it going to be like when these things like actually break down? Like, am I going to feel a difference in the pop? Like, are they going to start to tear? And like, what I'm trying to get at is just like the shoe technology in the last few years has just gotten crazy. Like, it's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing. I've kind of become a shoe geek in recent years and I'm not sad about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. What kind of gear do you like? Like what kind of gear do you run? And I see you have is that a normal top on?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
We're the normal top. Let me see. I wouldn't say I have like a specific brand that I go to. I mean, I have like a Solomon vest that I will never get rid of. I accidentally like bleached the back of it while trying to get the white side cleaner. And so it looks all goofy now, but it's just my favorite vest on this planet. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one where it's white on one side and black on the other. And then, yeah, other than that, I really like Jonji for their shorts, socks. I don't have any of their tops, but I would say those are like my go-to brands. I don't put like too much money or time into like running clothes. I kind of just work with what I got. Probably like half of my running closet is from like Sierra's, TJ Maxx, just cheaper stuff that is comfortable for me. But yeah. Oh, and I guess one last thing I'm excited about is I got a racing suit from On, and it's actually like their track racing suit. So it's just ultra light. And yeah, I'm really loving that one. I've always had like stomach issues when my clothes are too tight in that area. So just finding brands that kind of work with like my physiology has been really helpful for racing.
Nice. Are you more a vest person or a belt person for like these races?
Oh, I'm 100% vest. I've tried to wear belts, but I just cannot have any pressure on like my midsection. It ends up hurting my tummy. Like I have a few race pictures where I think I'm literally like stretching my shirt or my vest outwards to try to like take some of that pressure off and run a little faster. So yeah, I'm vest all the way.
Interesting. That's really you're some of the few. I don't have too many people tell me that. Usually people are belt people. Like I'm like a diehard belt person, like more than the vest. Just because like I feel like the vest for me like I don't like anything that constricts like my breathing. Like I don't know. Everybody's different. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I got a competition question for you. What's your relationship like with competition? Are you like extremely competitive person? Like on a scale of 1 to Taylor Stack, like where do you fall on that?
Oh gosh. I would really say it depends on the day, but I'm probably at like a 7 or an 8. That's part of why I'm really excited to do some more competitive races, just because like when there's a girl on my tail, I don't think I can push myself harder than in that moment. Or if I'm trying to catch someone in front of me, I just really love being around other like females specifically, because it just pushes me to go faster. I think that is the competitive edge where I don't really want to like let someone go. But I have this other problem where I don't get competitive with the guys. Like if say that I'm like leading a race on the women's side, like really I should be trying to chase guys and maybe get to like a higher point, but I'll just be like, oh, whatever, he's running his own race. So I'd say that's kind of where I'm at. I think I, in some ways, was even more competitive before. I really got into training, but now that I'm training pretty consistently, I also try to just have trust in my race, especially early on, and run my own race and not let like someone else make me push myself to a point where I might like end up failing.
It's a good answer. No, I like that. It's just interesting too, because like a lot, especially with sub ultra, it's a weird thing where it's like you almost like have to, and I've said this kind of before, you got to assert yourself into the race, because like if you don't, the race is going to pass you by. So it's like you have to find this mix of like just towing that line of like not destroying yourself, but also like trying to find a rhythm. Yeah, it's kind of tricky, right?
Exactly. I'd say for the sub ultra distance, I try not to be competitive until like at least halfway to 2/3 through. And then once I'm there, it's like, okay, it's go time. Like, gotta leave it all on the trail. So
yeah.
Would you call yourself a competitive person?
Oh, psycho. On a level of 1 to Taylor Stack, like not like I won't even let, like if my wife and I could be on like a nice leisurely family hike with the dogs and like chilling, and like I'll lose my mind because like I cannot let someone even like hike past us. I'm like, we gotta hurry up. Like, yeah, I don't know. The way my brain thinks, it's like always kind of a competition, which is probably not good. But yeah, I don't know. It's like with podcasts, with everything in life. Yeah, and which is weird because like I had a normal childhood. Like I think about this all the time. Like, and I ask my mom, like, where did things go south for me? Like, what happened? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So.
It's just in our blood or something.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, I don't know. Like my dad is very competitive, and like I guess maybe my mom is too, and maybe that just comes through. Like, I don't know. Like I wouldn't say my dad's like on a level of like 1 to psycho. Like I wouldn't say he's crazy, but like I see where I get it from. Like that part doesn't make a little bit of sense, but yeah, I don't know.
That's a great question though. I haven't really thought about it too much, but yeah, if you ask my partner, he would say like, yeah, Allie's a crazy Taylor Stack level person. I was running the Spirit Marathon a couple of years ago, and I was calling my partner like, Luke, I'm DNFing. You need to come pick me up. Like I'm not finishing. And I was in the lead at this point. And then a girl in my race kind of just moseys down the trail behind me, and I call Luke back and I'm like, never mind, I'm finishing. I'll see you later. So
oh, that's actually a good question. So like how many times are you in a race? Because I feel like this happens to me a lot where like I'll be in a race and I'm like, I'm dropping out at the end of this climb. Like I'm hurting so bad and like everything just sucks. Like I'm done. I'm taking the gondola down. Like my day is over. And then you get to the top and you're like, nah, I'm just gonna keep going. Like I Bailey Kowalczyk said this in a podcast the other day, and it like really stuck with me. And because I think a lot of people have that feeling, like want to like totally quit like the entire time. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely relate to that. I think every one of my good races, I've told myself like, I'm not going to finish this. This is not happening. But I don't know. You just kind of deal with that mental stress until you feel good enough to not remember it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, you just get to the top, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
exactly.
that pain of the first climb. I don't know. It just like hits everybody in a funny way. So yeah, it's interesting. All right, so let's start winding down now. We're at a little over an hour, so I want to get into some questions about inspiration. I'm curious to see who inspires you.
Um, let's see. I'd say my biggest inspirations are just from runners. Do you know Stephanie Case? Who?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know she's not really a sub ultra runner. In fact, quite the opposite. But I don't really have a sub ultra runner who kind of inspires me in this way. And it's just about her activism and the way that she's used running to do so much more and, support Afghan women and just women in areas that don't have access to running. And I think I have a belief that if you have a platform that you should be doing something good with it. And she really just embodies that. So yeah, 100% like Stephanie Case, Dakota Jones as well for the same reason. But on the other side of things, I am also like so inspired by people like Grayson Murphy, where, she's not showing up to a national championship or like a USA team qualifier, like hoping to get on the USA team. Like she knows that she's making it on the USA team so that she can go compete for America. And I think it's just really beautiful when athletes are so, so good that, there's just no doubt about it. And I can't even imagine the hard work she's put in to get to where she is. So I'm just inspired by, what she's able to do. I've gotten to, I think Sunapee was the only race I did with her, but, seeing her sprint away while me and hundreds of other girls are just struggling, trailing behind her, it's pretty awesome.
She's a monster, dude. And one thing I can really say I respect about her is like, I know now she's like very candid about like an autoimmune disease that she's like working through, and like she's very open about it, and it's like life is not easy. Like things are definitely difficult, and I mean, if she happens to make the team this year and goes to Worlds, and who knows, she probably has an ability to even go win it, the damn thing. But like, if she does that, like it'll just put like I probably put her as probably the best female mountain runner of all time, in my opinion, which is kind of wild to think like after 3 or 4, this will be her 4th or 3rd. I can't remember which one, but yeah, she's already, I think, a 2-time national title or world champion now, which is crazy. Yeah.
It's insane, and just, I feel like she's pretty much at that Joe Gray level where, she's just amazing.
Yeah. It is crazy. And especially with the way the sport's going and how competitive it is, it's only going to get harder, like to do those things like back to back to back and, like do what Joe did. So yeah, like I said, we might never see people like this again, which is kind of a shame, but that's the way the sport goes.
Definitely.
Are you a music person?
I am. Yeah. So I'm a musician. I play guitar and like a singer and songwriter. So, last summer I invested, into a really nice sound system. So now I'm able to just perform at local venues, don't need to have a sound guy and deal with all of that. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of dive into that more. I probably could have put a bit more effort into getting some gigs throughout the winter, but there's a lot of opportunities in the summer in Leadville, just at local bars. We have like a little like outdoor food truck space called the Ale Yak. So I love performing there. I'd say it's something that kind of fuels my running in some ways. It's a really nice rest day activity. And other than running and playing music, I'm pretty darn lazy. So
I think we all are as runners.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to recover, right?
Yeah. So that's probably like the one thing that gets me off the couch after a long run. I really enjoy it. It's also just an outlet for like, I like songwriting kind of as an alternative to like journaling or something like that. Just turn my thoughts into more of a poetic form.
What kind of music do you play?
Almost 100% like folk music, I would say.
Super cool.
I do like to do some like pop covers and make them more folk. And I also do play quite a bit of country as well.
Nice. Very nice. I could respect that. Super cool. All right. Well, like, so I'm just so curious about like genre then, like before a race, if you're listening to something hardcore, like, or like what's getting you pumped before a race? I've had so many people tell me it's like soft music, but like, what are you listening to?
Oh, I am fully the opposite. My probably go-to race song, I think I like got my Sunapee result by repeating this song in my head. It's called Little Girl Gone by Chinchilla, and it's just like very intense. That's all I'll say. I love that one. Then I've also been listening to a song called Pickle Rick by Echo, and it's
Pickle Rick.
just like a fun kind of. Have you heard of it?
Do you ever watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I have.
All right, so that's where Pickle Rick came from. That's actually really funny. I've never heard of Pickle. Like I've only heard of Pickle Rick through that. That's hilarious.
It's just the song name. It's actually Macklemore who does the singing, but it's like a different band who's involved. And I guess one thing about music for me is like I have to race with music. Unless a race specifically says like no, don't wear headphones. Like I'll almost always have one in, and that's probably part of why I like wearing a vest as well because I need to bring my phone for that. But I don't know, the right song just really gets me going.
I love to hear that. So you're like, so I have done this a few times. Actually, in like one circ race last year, I did pop in just like one earphone. Just like, for me, it was dialing out like just the noise at the beginning of the race and like just trying to focus because like my anxiety is like sky high. I wouldn't even say anxiety. It's just like nerves, which is probably the same thing. But like, just like at a start line before you go, like when I play it back in my head, like I don't hear anything. But like when I remember it, it's like, man, like it's very loud. It's like a lot going on. It's very intense, and you could like dump a lot of adrenaline or cortisol, I guess, at that one point. Whereas like I feel like I've had music in and it's just like kind of chilled me out a little bit, like made me just a little more relaxed, you know?
Yeah, kind of keeps you in that like race mode and frame. I definitely relate to like that anxiety, and I think without music, I'm just sitting on the start line uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's funny too. Like I will occasionally put music in for like uphill workouts, like especially on the incline where like I hate hearing myself breathing really hard. Like I don't like that. Like where I'm like, I don't know, like almost like kind of like it is kind of like a performance enhancer in one way or another where you can't hear yourself breathing, and it's hard to, it's like better to kind of like you could maybe put the throttle down a little bit more because you can't hear like what's going on with your body until you start to break down. I don't know, like I do it a lot of like usually on my Saturday workouts I almost always have music in, which is probably not good, but whatever.
Can I ask what your go-to song is or genre?
Oh, I listen to a lot of EDM. Like if I'm running,
Nice.
Instead of like Spotify or anything, I have SoundCloud, and what I do is like I find these like Avicii DJ sets from like 2013 that are like 2 hours long, so it'll fuel an entire workout, and it's like just Avicii just like tearing it up like at a live concert, and it's so good because like you can't even hear the people screaming. It's more so just like the recording of the actual DJ set, and it's like one thing after another after another after another, and like he'll hit like a bunch of like little ups and a lot of downs, and like you can just get like your heart rate and rhythm into that, like, and it actually works really well for me. So yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend anybody listening.
I'll have to check that out because Avicii is one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah, party music all the way when I'm running.
Oh, I love Avicii. R.I.P. Love Avicii.
So
he's the
sad.
man.
Yeah, so do you know Sunset Jesus? That's like one of my favorites.
Okay. And I just started getting into like more dubsteppy stuff. Like there's this guy Ace Aura who is like an Austin, Texas like underground DJ, and he's really good. And so he's got some sets from like Land of the Lost and a couple other like live sets that he'll put out. And those are good too. Some of them are a little too intense where I'm like, oh wow, I'm probably not going to be able to hear by the time I get to 50 if I still listen to this at like super high. So I'm going to dial it back a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It's great for running.
Definitely.
All right. So we're almost at the end. I want to get into the Bigfoot question because I usually ask this to everybody. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Wait, do I believe in Bigfoot?
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I can't say I have thought about it too much, but I don't know. It's kind of the same answer as like aliens for me. Like there's just no way he's not out there. You know what I mean? And I know that there's probably people who dress up and are tricking someone and make a YouTube video trying to make it look like Bigfoot. But I also think that within those videos, there's also some real ones in there, and that like, I don't know, just reading like Reddit stories about people who have encountered Bigfoot, I fully believe it.
If you saw Bigfoot, would you tell anyone?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think I would. I have a big mouth, so I'd probably run around, but maybe look like a crazy person. Actually, we And here in Leadville, we have like the Mineral Belt, which is just like 12-mile paved little road around Lake County. And there's like two Bigfoot, like not like statues, they're like cardboard wood cutouts. Yeah. So actually, before I knew that those were there, one time I like ran up and I saw this silhouette, and I think it was dusk or something, and I just straight up turned around. Like I thought it was real. So maybe I wouldn't tell anyone, because I think I just turned right around and was like, I hope that's not what I think it is.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like wonder if like I did see like something weird in the woods, like if I would tell anyone. I don't know, like a Bigfoot or something. I don't know. I know. I feel like we're in the age now of like with phones and stuff like that. That like I don't know. I've heard so much crazy shit that like I almost like believe everything now. Like I'm like way more gullible than I probably was like 5 years ago.
I relate to that. Yeah, I spend a little bit too much time thinking about like skinwalkers.
Okay.
Just because like a lot of my students in this area, I don't know, they're all really into it, and they all have these little stories and anecdotes about, someone calling their name, and it, just creepy skinwalker type stuff. So
that's interesting.
I believe in that.
You know what, dude? My young cousins like brought that up too, and it's like maybe it's like a Gen Z thing. I don't know. Like maybe it's like on TikTok or something. Kids.
It must be.
Could be. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. My cousins talk about that all the time, and they're young, and I'm like, are you watching like History Channel? Like, what are you getting this from? So who knows? That could be it.
I have no idea. It's like an urban legend that somehow has conspired through technology and younger generations.
Could be. Well, listen, Allie, we're almost at time. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I can't wait to do round 2. Wishing you the very best of luck, especially next week at Desert Rats and throughout the rest of your season. I can't wait to hear how Mammoth goes. So like we'll have to do a round 2 at the end of the summer. We'll bring you out to Colorado Springs, and it'll be a fun one.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for your time and having me on. I absolutely love your podcast, and I just feel honored to be on a podcast when you have such big names and amazing athletes on all the time. I mean, you just interviewed like Bailey and like Johan, right? And
you're part of the group too, man. Like I love getting in like, it's like a beautiful dichotomy and like a mix of like, yes, we have like professional athletes, but also like athletes that are like in the process of making their own name in their sport. And like, you're one of them. So, I can't wait to see what you're going to accomplish over the next few years. And, it'll be fun to follow along.
Thank you so much, James. I appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to follow your racing and stuff and everything you do at Cirque Series this year and with La Sportiva.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll be in touch. Have a great rest of your day.
You have a great rest of your day.
You too. What'd you guys think? Oh man, what a fun episode. I want to thank Allie so much for coming on the podcast. You guys hop on Instagram, give her a follow. You can find her on Instagram at Allie_at_altitude. Makes sense because she lives at 10,000 feet in Leadville, Colorado. And yeah, give her a follow, send her a DM. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you all. And yeah, let her know what you guys thought about the episode. And yeah, she's an absolute rock star, and I'm just so excited for what she's going to do with the rest of her 2025 season. And she's just getting started. So pretty fun. Guys, before we get going, if you wouldn't mind, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, or wherever you consume your podcast. That would mean the world to me. And that's how we can continue telling, just these great stories of all these amazing athletes in the sport, and continue to keep building the sport as we go. I've got some fun stuff coming up this week for you guys. It's going to be super fun. We're going to be dropping interviews with I think it's the 8. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't count. It's Monday. We don't do public math on the Steep Stuff podcast, but the number of individuals that just made the Trail Team Elite, which is going to be super fun. So we're going to be dropping interviews with all of them. That includes Oakley Olsen, Shea Aquilano, who literally just won Gorge Waterfall 100K this past weekend, Hawk Call, and so many others. It's pretty badass. So guys, have a great rest of your week. Keep a lookout for those episodes, and yeah, talk to you soon.